going on? We are back in Black in the building. Roll call. Still hot. Shout out to everybody out there in Arizona doing what they need to do to survive. Shout out to everybody, all my siblings, everybody out there in Las Vegas, Nevada. You already know what it is. You know what it is. You know what to do. Shout out to everybody everywhere. But you know, I got to give props. Shout out to the homegirl Shawnee, Philly in the building. The homegirl Erica, Florida, a.k.a. Florida in the building. Shout out to the homegirl Jerica as well. Shout out to my brothers James Youngblood and Dave for No Compromise. And shout out to the homegirl Melina, North Carolina, a.k.a. North Kakalaka. You know, shout out to everybody, man. You know, look, I know y'all like, man, why is he doing this topic? I told y'all, I just did podcasts about this person I'm about to talk about. But I'm about to talk about a plethora of things, but I definitely want to focus on this because this is very important that we start having a different understanding of what we need to be paying attention to. Let's get it. Man, this is going to be a quick one, but I definitely want Senator Bob Menendez found guilty. So now we about to, let's see what we can find. And we about to play some video if we can find it. Because you know, when they guilty, you got to track it down.
With great respect to you and your expertise.
Hold on, just 1 second. Let's make sure, because we gonna hear this. Let's listen to what the hell they got to say. Let's listen. All right, here we go.
No, I have to jump in with great respect to you and your expertise. I have to jump in because the senator is now live and we want to bring him on the stream. Thank you so much. Let's go to the senator right now.
Never violated my public oath. I have never been anything but a patriot of my country.
This is not your country, sir. Your last name is Menendez, unless you can trace your lineage back to the antebellum period, and I highly doubt that. You shouldn't even be in Congress because Foundation of Black Americans can't go to no other country and sit as a senator or have any type of position of power because we're not originally from that country. So I just wanted to put that out there. And this is no diss or anything to the Latino community. No diss. He probably doesn't even really identify as a Latino member or a part of their community. He probably identifies as a white Hispanic. Even though, still have to put that disclaimer out.
And for my country. I have never, ever been a foreign agent. And the decision rendered by the jury today would put at risk every member of the United States Senate.
No, it's just putting you at risk.
In terms of what they think a foreign agent would be. I'm my attorney want to say something and then I'll keep going.
Afternoon. We were surprised and disappointed with the jury's verdict. We disagree with it, and we believe today, as we have since day one, in Bob's innocence. There are grave appellate problems with this case and with this verdict.
There are grave appellate problems with the system of racism and white supremacy and establishing a system of justice. That's very bold for you to steal money, use your power for evil, do the devil's work, and then get up on a podium and say, you disappointed. Disappointed? Why don't you talk to all those foundational Black Americans that were put in prison behind 94 crime bill Joe Biden and his deconstructing of the Black family?
And we're going to pursue all appellate avenues aggressively. And we do expect he will be vindicated. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we have the opportunity to go back to Jessica. Jessica, I owe you a New York pizza for having to interrupt you, but we did want to let our viewers hear what the senator had to say. His attorney just saying there were grave appellate problems with this, and they will appeal. What could those be, and what kind of teeth could an appeal have, if anything?
So I think it's worth mentioning that this is what almost every convicted defendant says. It's not to take anything away.
Thank you. You're guilty. You can file the appeal behind bars, Senator Menendez.
From potential avenues here. But we're hard pressed to think of a defendant who says, no, that's the jury's verdict, and so I won't appeal. And I will also say that the criminal justice system really tends to favor finality. So an appellate process would not be, let's have another bite at the apple. It would have to be that there's some sort of error in the trial, like a jury instruction or evidence that was presented to the jury that should not have been there, or testimony that presented such a problem that it was not harmless error, but reversible error, so that you have to go to an appellate court.
Let's find some more video. I love it because I told y'all about this senator. I told y'all. Democrat leaders call for the New Jersey senator. Oh, yeah, for all you Democratic people.
And let's turn our focus now to some news impacting the Democratic Party today. New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez has been found guilty on all counts in a federal corruption trial. The prominent Democrat was accused of abuse of power and enriching himself and associates.
And just minutes after the verdict was delivered, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer again called for his fellow Democrat to step down immediately.
No, let him stay there and let him make y'all party look like the dumbasses that y'all are while y'all sitting up there telling us we need to get with the Latino community and how y'all catering to all these immigrants. Well, that's what happens when you cater to an immigrant. See, you put him in power and look at what he do. Stealing. Do y'all know? Go read about this senator. I'm telling y'all to go read about the senator. Do y'all know that when they found like $100,000 worth of cash or something in a car that he got illegally, his response and his defense response was, oh, I'm Cuban. We always do that. You see how they do? Yeah, you went back to your roots real quick. Anything not to go to court, you're going to prison, sir. And the Democratic Party is about to turn on you because they are failing as it is. Donald Trump is the hero of the United States of America Incorporated. You can forget it. He survived a fake false flag assassination. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
William Brangham has the latest back in Washington.
Menendez was convicted on 16 counts, including bribery, fraud, obstruction, and acting as a foreign agent. Prosecutors detailed how Menendez traded political favors for the Egyptian government and an American businessman in exchange for lavish amounts of money and luxury goods. After the verdict, U.S. Attorney Damian Williams spoke outside the courthouse in New York.
This case has always been about shocking levels of corruption.
Oh, Damian Williams. Oh, might be a foundational Black American. We don't know, but it seems to be a brother.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars in bribes in the form of cash, gold bars, a Mercedes-Benz. This wasn't politics as usual. This was politics for profit.
Thank you.
And now that a jury has convicted Bob Menendez, his years of selling his office to the highest bidder have finally come to an end.
About time somebody called his punk ass out. Warren, why are you talking about this? Y'all better wake up. We so busy worried about what LeBron James' son is doing on the Lakers. If you're working in the United States of America Incorporated, not only are you paying for immigrants to come over here for unearned benefits, they get a chance to be in the highest seats of power and steal. So they're double dipping. They're already getting paid and have all types of influence on the United States of America's government. They can lobby. You know what type of power this man has? And he's not even foundational. He's not even a foundational white American. But you in the highest seats of the land, you have all this power, you want to steal? And black folk can't even get a regular corporate plantation job without somebody fucking with them? Are you crazy? Yeah, I'm going to talk about this. So I just thought y'all would hear it.
For his part, Senator Menendez decried the verdict and vowed to appeal.
I'm deeply, deeply disappointed by the jury's decision.
And we're deeply disappointed by all your heinous acts in stealing money when foundational Black Americans can barely afford to put food on their table, pay their power bill and their gas bill and their trash bill and their water bill, and pay the car note or put the gas in the car, get the car fixed. We barely have money for that, sir. But you over here getting it while the getting is good, just making it rain, just doing whatever you want to do. Stop.
I have every faith that the law and the facts did not sustain that decision and that we will be successful upon appeal. I have never violated my public oath. I have never been anything but a patriot of my country and for.
I like how they say of their country. You didn't build anything, and you're not originally from here. Stop.
My country. I have never, ever been a foreign agent.
The senator's wife, Nadine Menendez, has also been charged, but her trial has been postponed indefinitely as she undergoes cancer treatment. To break this all down, I am joined by Rai Rivard of Politico, who has been covering this. Rai, thank you so much for being here. I detailed briefly the charges that Menendez was found guilty of, but can you sketch out the sort of overarching conspiracy here?
Yeah, it starts with those shocking or sometimes comical levels of gold and cash that were found.
Oh, yeah, by the way, he was trading stuff for gold. You know, remember how they took us off the gold standard? Go do your history. Dave for No Compromise, James Youngblood, y'all know about this. Shawnee, you know about it. Erica, y'all know about it. Everybody knows about this. They removed us allegedly from the gold standard. And we just rely on the Federal Reserve to print money, which is backed by anything. It's not backed by nothing. It's just paper. We don't have a currency, a real currency that is backed by. But this man is over here selling his seat for gold bars.
By the FBI in his home, hundreds of thousands of dollars in cash, over a dozen gold bars. And it goes back to the people that are now found guilty of providing it to him, people who include a prominent New Jersey real estate developer who Menendez helped cement a deal with Qatar, for the benefit of this real estate developer, and a halal meat mogul who wanted a meat monopoly from the Egyptian government.
See? Look at what they are doing. Y'all not understanding. Why are you even over here? You go over there and do that shit in Egypt and see what they do. They will pull you out in front of the whole town and chop off your damn wrist for stealing. But they can just come over here and... Let me tell you what they need to do. They need to pass a law. If you're an illegal immigrant, we're going to have to ask you to pack up your shit and go back to your country so we can figure out what to do with our backyard. You know how when you have company over and there's an internal issue at the house, what do foundational Black American parents do? All right, y'all gotta tell y'all company they gotta go home. We got family business to take care of. Family business needs to be taken care of. Y'all asses need to go back to y'all country and go steal out there. Don't come out here with the bullshit. That's the problem. All these illegal immigrants coming over here. I don't give a fuck how much money they got. Go back to your country and do the stealing. Don't do it here. Foundational Black Americans can't even get a damn job, but y'all coming over here as illegal immigrants, stealing and being aided and abetted by other immigrants.
To be, allowed by the American government, that he didn't want American officials to interfere in this arrangement. And Menendez made phone calls made a phone call for this person to try and get the USDA to back off scrutiny. And then, there was a Mercedes in his car that was tied to another defendant who pled guilty and testified in this trial, where that defendant wanted Menendez to attempt to disrupt a state investigation of his insurance company.
Did y'all hear what this is an illegal immigrant doing this?
And so there's all of these overlapping conspiracies involving a trio of New Jersey business people who wanted different things from the senator and gave him money and cash to get them.
And the central conspiracy allegation is that he used his influence as a senator to squash investigations, to make aid to Egypt flow, like that he basically put his thumb on the scale in lots of different ways in a corrupt way.
That's exactly right. And in some cases, he wasn't always successful. The prosecutors, in this case, the federal prosecutors, said he didn't succeed in disrupting the federal investigation or a federal criminal case that he was attempting to disrupt, or a state investigation that he was attempting to disrupt. But he was found guilty of taking bribes and acting to try and disrupt those investigations.
And what was Menendez's argument here? What was his defense in all of this? We heard a little bit of what he had to say.
I love it, people. You like Warren Wall. I'm going to tell you again. Look, you stay back and you call their asses out, because they'll definitely call us the fuck out any chance they get. You better not take a piece of gum from somebody. They're going to be like, federal charges. They're going to send the FBI to raid your house over a piece of gum.
say. But what did he argue in court?
Well, it became popular to call it the throw the wife under the bus defense. But in some ways, he said that his wife, Nadine, who he married in 2020 and was dating in the early part of this conspiracy and these schemes, had done things behind his back, that they lived separate lives in some ways, at least financially separate lives, and that she had made arrangements with people that he didn't know about. His co-defendants, two of his co-defendants in this case, had slightly different defenses, which didn't always mesh with his own, which is that they didn't deny that they gave the senator things. They didn't deny that they gave him gifts. They said that these things, if they gave them, just weren't bribes. They were goodwill gifts, which can be permitted in certain cases by the law.
Then why didn't he donate it to charity? He should have took the gift and donated it to a charity. That's what he should have done. What you need to get, you a senator, you go get your own shit. You got power. Go, nigga, you could do it. But you didn't want to do it because you didn't think that anybody's watching you. You thought you was above the law. So that's what you get. And I don't feel bad for you, and that's what you get. Sorry. I just don't feel bad for you. Let's cut the music back on. In other topics, I see that Eminem came out with another album again. Oh my God, David. He needs to stop. Stop, Eminem. Just stop it already. Nobody cares about your corny rap. It's even corny to white people now. I don't hear white people playing Eminem. I hear white people playing Future. I hear white people playing, all the young black artists. I don't hear them playing those. Nobody plays Eminem anymore. Stop. And I heard he had something to say about Candace Owens. Eminem, why don't you talk about your own people? Yeah, we leave the calling out Candace Owens to us. We don't need you calling her out. Yes, Candace Owens, tends to be a coon and a mammy and all this other shit, but we can call her out. We don't need you doing that. We need you to call out the system of racism and white supremacy and establish a system of justice. That doesn't mean giving people record deals so they can borrow money to record an album. That's not replacing that system. Replacing that system is calling out the whole shit you've seen in rap, or calling out yourself for calling black women niggas and dumb nigga bitches. Sorry, Eminem. You get Sorry, sir. We don't want to hear from you. We don't believe you. We need more people. Sorry. This motherfucker want to call out the obvious while you over here benefiting off of foundational black American culture. Why don't you call out the racism and the anti-black racism within the hip-hop community? How motherfuckers only want to deal with black folk when it comes to us writing raps and shit, but when it comes to the actual intricate deals that monies is being divided, we're the last person to know about monies being divided. But we're the first person that is carrying the hard load. And what did Dr. Claude Edison say? The willingest ass carries the load. Sorry, Eminem. I don't want to hear from you at all anymore. And I'm a big hip hop fan, but I don't want to hear from you at all. I'd rather listen to mumble rap 100,000 times over than listen to you. You're not relatable. Nobody cares about your drug addiction or your family or none of that. It's played out. Black folk need reparations. You're not talking about any of that. And you're benefiting off our culture, and I'm over it. This is not your moment. This is Kendrick Lamar's moment. FBA, stand up. I don't want to hear from you at all. Shout out to the game too for calling out that bullshit. In other news, I see that Rick Ross got into it with some biker gang, and it seems like Drake was liking the post. Now Drake, Pusha T done already called you out for your anti-black racism and you dressing up in blackface, and now you're liking posts with a alleged anti-black racist biker gang putting hands on Rick Ross. Sir, you might not want to come back to the United States of America with that bullshit, because FBA is united right now. Yeah, it might be some indiscrepancies between FBA and FBA, but eventually we gonna get on the same page. So you better stop it now with the bullshit. But that's all I wanted to speak on today. I want y'all to understand that. Here, hey, the No I Don't Know TV podcast, whatever fuck you want to call it, I'm not just gonna chase mainstream stories. I'm gonna talk about shit that other people are not talking about. And I do it on purpose to bring a different perspective. Like I said, I appreciate everybody that's listening and subscribing, but over here, man, we not chasing clout. We having a conversation about information so we can pass the time and sleep on this information and study it and see how it works and how it affects foundational Black Americans and any other racial group. Like I said, I was waiting for that brother, a part of the Latino community, to hit me back with information so we can have these conversations, but he got ghosted. And like I said, you will never hear me disparage any other racial group, but I will stand tall on mine. And like I said, I got love for all these other racial groups, but there's a discrepancy of what y'all created versus what we created. And it seems like everybody wants to grab hold of hip hop because it is now the most popular genre of music in the world. So now everybody else wants to take, a piece of the pie. And that's not what we as foundational Black Americans are going to allow you to do. Just like everybody wants to take a piece of the pie of building this country for free without repayment. No diss to the Latino brothers and sisters. I got love and respect for you. We can always have a civilized conversation, but we need to speak. I need you to have a conversation, and you need to speak like James Youngblood or David for No Compromise or Shiny or Erica or my siblings, people that read books. We need sources. You can't just be up here running your mouth talking about you built the country just like Black folk did. No, you didn't. And to these other racial immigrants, because it's so funny when you talk about immigrants, the dominant society has everybody thinking that Black folk are just talking about the Latino community. No, I'm talking about if you are Haitian and you're here illegally and you are aiding and abetting the system of racism and white supremacy, you need to go. If you're Jamaican, if you're Ghanaian, if you are Sierra Leone, like I said, I remember I met a girl from Sierra Leone and she just thought she was so much better than the foundational Black American women. To the point where she was trying to tell me to go to school. Now, this was what's so funny. She was like, yeah, because I live in a good neighborhood, so I could, because it's all about education. And she was like, and what are you going to do with your life and all this other stuff? I said, you got a master's degree, right? She's like, yeah. Bitch, you work at the same place I work at. How you going to tell me anything? Because this is what's so funny about immigrants. I'll be laughing now. Y'all still falling for the American dream, go get you a college degree so you get you a good job, but nigga, that's out. That's a wrap. If you're working where I'm working, you ain't in no type of space to tell a foundational Black American what they gonna be doing. You're not even in your own country. Why don't you go to school in your country since y'all so smart? And I'll tell that to any immigrant that is in the United States of America Incorporated. See, it's just people want to call you racist and a bigot and all this other stuff. No, I'm not calling these other racial immigrant groups out of their names. I'm just stating the facts. Here are the facts. If you guys are so intelligent and so smart, why didn't y'all build up where you came from? Why are you guys leaving your homeland and coming to the United States of America? I don't want to hear nothing about the government. I don't want to hear anything about nothing. If you were smart, if all you Nigerians and Sierra Leones and Jamaicans, all y'all so smart and so bright, why don't y'all build up where y'all came from? Why do y'all need to come here for unearned benefits and then get mad at Black folk when we start delineating ourselves? And I'm talking about foundational Black Americans. Like this Belizean girl who was like, I'm not Black, I'm Belizean. I just looked at her and I was like, I didn't even ask you. I didn't even ask you what you were. I don't even care. Can you sign this so I can go type shit? And she tried to go on around and I was like, and I was kind of like, yeah, I don't even care about any of that. That's like of none of my concern. Like, I don't care who speaks Spanish. this is United States of America. As long as you speak English, you good with me. And then she kind of started to retract, but I was just kind of taken back by, people think I'm black, I'm Belizean, and all this other stuff, like it's some rite of passage. You left where you came from to be here. That's why when you look at people like Shine Barrows, you nigga this and nigga that, yeah, nigga, and all this other stuff, and now you got deported, and now you want to be in a position of power where you come from, so now you got suits on and you don't say the word nigga and others. It's like, man, these people be killing. They will bar our culture like it's a pair of Jordans, and when it no longer suits them, they will put those Jordans in the closet and keep it moving. Folks, let's look at it. Don't even worry about the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. We already know the Republicans are probably got this one in the bag. Donald Trump is probably going to win again. We already know that. Let's start fine-tuning our information and understanding what we need to do and where we are going. Because while we're not figuring out where we need to go and what we need to do, these other racial immigrant groups are plotting, planning, stealing, and here for unearned benefits. And that is not fair to the people who built this country for free without repayment. And I'm not talking about the so-called Native Americans, because they've already gotten their set-asides and reparations and reservations and all this other stuff. The only racial group that has not been repaid for their work in the United States of America Incorporated are foundational Black Americans. Guilty, nigga. I'm done. Peace.